The Texas Code of Criminal Procedure specifically lays out what objects may be the subject of a search warrant. This may seem like it doesn't need explanation. However, what can and can't be the subject of a search warrant will become very important in later screencasts. There are essentially four major groups or types of objects that can be subject to a search warrant. Most of these are numbered under CCP Section 18.02, Parenthetical A. For instance, 1802 Parenthetical A, Parenthetical 11 is persons. A search warrant may order a search for a specific person. The four groups are not identified by the CCP, but it usually helps to mentally organize each of the numbered categories into these four. Each of these groups differ in the requirements to obtain a search warrant and may differ in the length of time the warrant is good for, or the length of time after which the warrant expires. During the rest of this screencast, we'll talk about this top group only. According to the Code of Criminal Procedure, search warrants may be issued for, Parenthetical 1, property acquired by theft, or in any manner which makes the acquisition of the property a penal offense. Next, property specifically designed, made, or adapted for, or commonly used in the commission of an offense. For instance, this might mean a card skimmer specifically designed to allow a criminal to steal your credit card information, or a slide hammer that has been adapted into a device for forcibly removing the locks to a car door in order to commit vehicle burglaries. Parenthetical 3, arms and munitions kept or specifically prepared for the purposes of an insurrection or riot. Parenthetical 4, search warrants may be issued for weapons prohibited by the Penal Code. For example, a sawed-off shotgun. Next, search warrants may be issued for Parenthetical 5, gambling devices or equipment, altered gambling equipment, or gambling paraphernalia. Next, Parenthetical 6, obscene materials kept or prepared for commercial distribution or exhibition, subject to additional rules set forth by law. Parenthetical 7, a drug, controlled substance, immediate precursor, chemical precursor, or other controlled substance property, including an apparatus or paraphernalia kept, prepared, or manufactured in violation of the laws of the state. Parenthetical 8, any property the possession of which is prohibited by law. For instance, body armor that is possessed by a felon. Parenthetical 9, implements or instruments used in the commission of a crime. Next, Parenthetical 11, so we've skipped Parenthetical 10. The Code of Criminal Procedure states that search warrants may be issued for persons. Keep in mind, you can also issue an arrest warrant for persons, but there may be times when a warrant is needed to search for a person without necessarily arresting them after they're found. Further, an arrest warrant does not grant authority to search for a person under certain circumstances. Finally, Parenthetical 13. So we've now skipped Parenthetical 12 as well. A search warrant may authorize a search for consumer electronic data. This may be for information such as credit card billing or phone records, which are stored by a company on a computer system. So once again, we've just discussed this first group of objects authorized to be subject to a search by the Code of Criminal Procedure. Remember, these four groups are not found in the CCP, but mentally organizing them in this manner will help you understand and keep the differences straight in your mind. The group we've discussed in this screencast might be considered the general or catch-all category. In other words, the other three groups are the ones that are mostly associated with special requirements for search warrants. We'll talk about the other three groups in the next few screencasts.